Welcome to your Digital Day lesson. Today you'll be learning about markup and discount, tax and tips. So you should have your guided notes printed out next to you so you can take notes as I discuss what markup and discount, tax and tips are and do a couple of calculations. First, let's talk about how markup relates with discount. Markup is when a retail store buys items at wholesale prices. To cover expenses and make a profit, they sell items at a higher retail price. Markup is when a store increases the price of an item from what they paid the manufacturer to what they sell it for to a customer. Discount is when the item is on sale. The store is selling the item for less. So this is called a discount. Discount is a decrease in the price of an item. Let's look at sales tax and tips. Sales tax. Sales tax is a percent of the original cost that is added to the original price of an item or service mandated by the government. Sales tax is what is added to your items at the register when you go to pay for them. Tips is the extra amount of money that is added to the bill and paid to the worker who performs a service for you. For example, a waiter, barber, nail technician. When you go to a restaurant, you always tip your waiter. Boys, you get your hair cut, you tip the barber along with the price of the haircut. Ladies, when you go get your nails done, you tip the price of the nail, plus you tip if they did a good job. Now let's look at the steps when we calculate discounts, markup, tax, and tips. We will use the step calculating by converting. We can do proportion, but for this particular lesson here today, we're going to do by converting. So make sure you have your calculator out with you, and right now just look at the steps. And you can write this down in your notebook, in your math notebook, or just on some notes on the side, or somewhere on those guided notes. So finding the discount. Step 1, you find the amount of the discount, the percent. Step 2, turn the percent into a decimal and then multiply it by the original price. Then step 3, you subtract the discount amount from the original price. And that will be your final price. All right. Finding markups, tax and tips work pretty much the same except we add. So step 1, we find the amount of the markup, the percent, change the percent into a decimal, and multiply it by the original price. Then you add that amount to the original price. So that's the big distinction between the two. Discounts, we subtract the two amounts. Markups, we add the two amounts. All right, now let's look at an example with discount. It says you buy a pair of jeans that is 30% off the original price of $29. What is the sale price? First, you need to find the amount of the discount. So we need to find 30% of $29. So we have to change that 30% to a decimal. You know, you have to move that over 2 places. 1, 2. And that will give us 0.3 times 29. You use your calculator to do that amount. Once you use your calculator, that answer will be 8.7. And since we're talking about discount, we are subtracting. So now we subtract 29 minus 8.70 because we're talking about money, so 70 cents. So you should have no issues when using the calculator with this, but however, if you're not using the calculator, you must line the decimals up so you won't get anything wrong. So make sure you put 29.00, then subtract 8.70. And your answer will be $20.30. So the jeans were $29, they took 30% off. Final price $20.30. Now let's look at an example of a markup. A store that sells skateboards buys them from a manufacturer at a wholesale price of $57. The store's markup is 150%. What is the resale price? First, we need to find the amount of the markup, the percent, and turn it into a decimal. So we have 150% of $57. So we have to change that 150% to a decimal. So we know if we don't see the decimal, it's at the end. We need to move the decimal over 2 places to the left. All right. With that, that will be 1.50 times 57. Use our calculator, we multiply. That will give us $85.50. This is not the answer. This is simply the amount of the markup. I told you with markup, we add. So we add $85.50 to the original price, which was $57, and we get $142.50. Keep in mind, you work out this the same way you work out tips and tax. Find the percent, change it to a decimal, but you're going to add. Discounts is the only one you subtract. Now let's see how well you took notes as you went through the PowerPoint. So you should have your guided notes in front of you. See if you filled in the correct answers of the fill in the blanks. All right, let's look at definitions. Discount is a decrease in the price of an item. Markup is when a store increases the price of an item from what they paid the manufacturer to what they sell it for to a customer. Tax is money that is added to the buyer's cost of an item or service mandated by the government. Tip is additional money that is given to a worker who performs a service for you. All right, and we did this by calculating. Again, you can use this as your own notes. Calculating by converting. We focus on percent to decimal because I feel that is the easiest. Move the decimal to the left 2 places. So when we talk about discount, you convert the percent to a decimal or fraction. Then you multiply the converted percent by the original price. This tells you the amount by which the price is changing. Then you subtract that amount from the original price. So if you look at that sales price, that example, it says the sales price is $32.50 for a rug and 40% off. So we have to change that 40% to a decimal, like so. That would be 0.4. Then we have to multiply it times $32.50. All right. This is the amount of the discount, $13 off. So we got to subtract that. 32.50 minus 13 equals $19.50. Remember, it's easy to do with your calculator. However, if you're doing it on paper, you have to make sure when you subtract, you line up the decimal. So on that 13, make sure you add that decimal and 2 zeros. All right. On markup, you have to convert the percent to a decimal or a fraction, but we focus on decimal and we multiply the converted percent by the original price. This tells you the amount by which the price is changing. Then we add the amount of the original price. So if you look at that example right here, it says find a new price on a $14.50 shirt marked up 35%. So we have to change that 35% to the decimal, 0.35, then multiply it by $14.50. That gives us $5.08. This is my markup amount, $5.08. We add that to $14.50, get $19.58. All right, look down at tax. Tax, we're going to multiply. Once the converted percent by the original price, that tells you how much tax must be paid. Then you're going to add that amount to the original price to find the total price. Look at the example. Find the total price including tax of $15.99 hat with a 6% sales tax. So we got to change that 6% sales tax to a decimal. That is not 60%, people. Move it over 2 places. That will give you 0.06 times $15.99. That will give you 96 cents. And we got to add that to $15.99 and you get $16.95. All right, with tip, you convert the percent to a decimal, multiply the converted percent by the original price. This tells you how much money is being given as a tip. Then you add that amount to the original price to find the total cost including the tip. So let's look at the example. How much tip should you leave for a 20% tip on a $40 meal? Got to change the percent to a decimal. 20% to a decimal is 0.20 or 0.2 times 40. That is an $8 tip. So now we need to add 40 plus 8. Your total is 48. So out of these 4 examples, you should know how to do all 4. So what you're going to do next, you're going to turn on the back of your guided notes and you're going to do the following problems. But before we do that, let's go back to the front page and look down at those examples at the bottom, those 3 examples. So we're going to find the sale price. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to see if you can do number 1. So number 1 says, find the sales price. You got a $52 item on sale for 30% off. What do you think you need to do? Okay, if you had your calculator by now, you should have an answer. If not, let's look at it together. All right, first thing you need to do, you need to change 30% to a decimal, 0.30. All right, so that's 0.3 times 52. That is $15.60. And we're talking about sales price or discount, so we know we subtract 52 minus $15.60. All right, and you get $36.40. Let's look at the next one. So let's look at it together because you have some problems that you're going to do on the next page anyway. So it says find the total price including tax. So we're talking about tax, so that means we're going to add. But first we got to find the percent, the amount. So you have 6%, we got to change that to a decimal. Again, that is not 0.60. You move it 2 places to the left, that is 0.06 times $67.99 equals $4.08. You add the 2 amounts up and you get $72.07. All right, let's look at number 3. We're going to find the tip, which means we add. Change the percent to a decimal, 15%, that is 0.15 times 55. That would give you $8.25, that's the tip. And you need to add 55 plus $8.25, and that would give you $63.25. Now let's go on and back and look at those problems. Okay, so now let's do some independent practice. So just remember, when you find the new price of discount price, you have to subtract. When you find the total price including tax, you must add. You're trying to find the total cost including the tip, you add. Markups, you add. Good luck. Your goal is to only get 3 or less wrong. Good job. Have a good day.